under the lights as the show gets you ready for another edition of Major League Baseball. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Chicago Cubs and the New York Mets. Stay tuned for Mets baseball coming up next. Carlos Carrasco is the man on the mound for the fourth game of the series. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Well, Matt, you hate to go into the game thinking that you're going to have to get the bullpen involved, but you may have to with this guy on the mound. He's not known for going very deep in the games. Very rarely does he go 6 innings or more, so this very well could be one of those Johnny Holstaff days.
Now at the plate here is Javier Baez, and we are set for baseball here this evening. First pitch on its way. And he'll hold off on the slider here to start the at-bat. It's ball 1. Fellas, these Mets, as they enter play here tonight, they've been playing better than .500 baseball of late, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
Yeah, Matty V, and you know what, D-Row? Now I guess it's time where you push that go button. You're getting a little sense of urgency. They find themselves in 3rd place, and if they want to be part of the postseason picture, it's time to get going and get going pronto.
Yeah, it's taken too long for this team to carve out any identity for themselves. They're going to have to find a way to get on a roll, offensively or pitch better. Something's got to change.
2 balls and a strike to Javi Baez. The 2-1 pitch. Tough to do much with that one. A swing and a miss.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a big pitch for him today.
Full count now. The 3-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit into the left center field gap. Baez will head for second. And he will pull into second with a leadoff double.
That's what you want your leadoff hitter to do every time. He wastes a lot of pitches, makes the pitcher work, then to cap it off, he drives one for a double. That might be one of the best at-bats we'll see all game long.
So that'll bring up Jason Hayward as he swings and lifts it in the air out to shallow right field. And that's going to fall. A base hit. And not in time as the run scores.
Boy, that has to feel good as a hitter, D-Roy. Get that base hit to give your team the lead. You have to feel good when you get down to first base.
Yeah, it's just a nice approach. You see him turn to his boys right there and get fired up with the dugout. 100%, not trying to do too much, able to quiet the moment down, center himself, and come through in a big spot.
Here's Chris Bryant now, as he'll take a look at ball 1. Previous battles with Carlos Carrasco, he's just 2 for 9. Now it's 2-0. And set up behind the dish is Gary Simmons, as you see the rest of our umpiring crew there.
D-Row, this Gary Simmons, he's the kind of umpire that pitchers really like to throw to.
Yeah, I'm okay with it though, Dan. You want to go east-west, I'll make the adjustment. It's the north-south that'll kill you.
Now the 2-0 is taken, strike 1.
2-1.
Offers it that one a little late, and it's 2-2 now. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. 3-2 now. The payoff pitch home. Lifted down the line in left. Hayward gets his lead at first. Nobody out. And it's fouled away. Here's the payoff pitch. Pulled high in the air out to left field. Smith will settle under it to make the play for the first out, as the runner will have to head back to first. With that, a look at the Cubbies' starting lineup. Dero, how do they lock up a series victory here on the road?
Well, Matty, we learned in spring training this is an organizational mission. To lead the league in walks, create constant pressure on the pitcher, drive his pitch count up, foul off that tough two-strike pitch, find ways to create opportunities to score runs. This team is a nightmare for the opposing pitcher to deal with.
1-0 the count. And a changeup here, but that's taken low in the dirt for a ball. Happ with a 2-1 count now.
Nasty 2-0 slider right there for a strike. No shame in tipping your hat.
The 2-1. Runners on first with one down. Struck him out.
Well, his struggles continue. It's been a rough go of it at the plate with him, and watching this at bat, it's clear to me that his rhythm and timing, they're just all off. Even as a pitcher like I was, you can tell these things and exploit them.
And that'll bring Anthony Rizzo to the plate. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball one. The average coming in, 257. 10 home runs and 44 RBIs. The 1-0 home. A swing and a miss. That's the first strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
A runner on first with 2 away.
Nope.
And there's ball 2 now.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And he fires a fastball now for a called strike 2.
Hey, I still believe in my heart the best pitch is a well-executed fastball down and away, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
Conforto gets under it and makes the catch to end the inning. 2 hits in the inning lead to a run for Chicago. Alec Mills gets handed the ball for the 4th and final game of the series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, you take a look at this guy's ERA. Any ERA under 4 is pretty good in this day and age of baseball when we have all these high-scoring, high-flying affairs. This guy knows how to pitch. He knows how to control the running game. And most importantly, he's not afraid to throw strikes. We'll see how he does in this one.
Now to the plate, Jeff McNeil. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first, as he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. Well, guys, as we look at the Cubs coming into play here tonight, they came up a little short last time out, but they've still been one of the hotter teams around, winning 8 of their last 10 ball games.
Yeah, Matty, this team has been playing really well right now, and this is case in point. Chance to jump out again to another 1-0 lead. They've really been doing that. They've been on attack, early offensive, almost ambush-like approaches to their at-bats, and it's working for them.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. And another foul ball. And he fouls this one off. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed for the first out. And here's the former first-round draft choice, Brandon Nimmo. He's been held in check in the series, just 1 for 12 coming in. Now the pitch.
Hey, that's a good sinker right there. That's his bread and butter pitch, and if he's got that going, especially early, it's going to be tough to get some runs off him.
Called strike 0-2. 1 out, nobody on. Lined hard to center field. Hal is there, 2 gone.
Batting third.
With a moment here in Flushing Meadows, let's meet the Mets. Dan Plesac, who are you focused on?
Well, Michael Conforto has been a big piece for them. He's really excelled against right-handed pitching this season, hitting over 300 against them coming in. So, given the matchup he's faced with here, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him make some noise at the plate.
At the plate now, Dominic Smith. And he takes ball 1, looking to get on base and keep this first inning alive. And he watches one miss outside, 2-0 now.
Not even close with the 1-0. He needs to get back in the zone, but be careful. Work the quadrants.
He pulls this one high and deep to right center field. Center fielder looking up, still ranging back. Unbelievable! A home run! I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw. Solo shot to right center, number 22 on the year, as the Mets have come back to tie things at 1.
Well, his offense spotted him a run in the top of the inning, and he just gave it right back. That's what happens when you plant one in a hitter's wheelhouse. Sent out of here in a hurry.
Up next, the power bat of Pete Alonso as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. 289 is the average coming in. An even 20 home runs and an even 50 RBIs. Swing, and this is also hit well. Out to deep center. Hap has to retreat to the track, but he has it to retire the side. 1 scores in the inning, coming on this solo home run. Second inning coming up, all even now at 1-1. Second inning coming up, and Heidi Watney has an update for us on the weather forecast.
Well, Matt, it's fairly dry down here right now, but I am told there's a bigger threat of rain later in the game. It's not entirely clear how severe it's going to get, but we could be facing a weather delay if the storm front passes over the ballpark. For now, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, Heidi, thank you. And guys, certainly having a fresh bullpen ready for a game like this one will be an important step towards a victory.
No doubt, Matty. And there's rain on the horizon. You want to get depth. You want to score early as an offense, get some depth and some length out of your starting pitching, and hand it over to that fresh bullpen.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
The 1-1.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
High and deep down the left field line. Ready with another 2-2. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first down. Next to hit will be Wilson Contreras. And as you take a look at the splits here, he's actually better against right-handed pitching this season. Carrasco pauses. First pitch on its way. And that's dead center for strike one.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
And it's 1-1. Bases are empty, one man out. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
2-1 the count.
Two and two to the Cubs catcher.
Hey, I'd like to see a little bit more discipline in that. You get a count in your favor and he's swinging a pitch that bad? Not good.
Here now the 2-2. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
Big curveball for the strikeout there, and that came after an absolute missile of a fastball. Even if you recognize the breaking ball out of the pitcher's hand, it's so hard for hitters to sit back long enough after they've seen a really good fastball. Only the best can keep their hands back on those.
To the plate now, David Bodie. As the first pitch to him is taken low and away for ball one. He'll enter play here with an average just over 250. 3 homers, 26 RBIs. Swing and a miss as he ramps up on the fastball. 1-1.
You could tell by the hitter's balance after that swing that he's seeing the ball really good. His timing is right there, and I expect him to catch something clean.
Hit the target, but this is low. 2-1. Curveball misses here, so a good hitter's count now to 3-1.
This is a good at-bat so far here with 2 away. If you're going to go down 1, 2, 3, at least make the guy work for it. He's doing that, and he's even gotten himself into a good hitter's count now.
And take a good look there as this misses for ball 4, and the Cubs have themselves a 2-out base runner.
That walk is going to feel a little extra frustrating for this pitcher. Not only do you never really want to walk the number 8 hitter, but it's also going to let the pitcher hit this inning instead of forcing him to lead off the next one.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch.
1-0.
Perfect time for a mound visit right here. Just give him a breather, a chance to collect himself and get back to work.
The 1-0.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Had him off stride that time, and it's 1-2. Strike 3 called as he can't get the bat off his shoulders. Side retired. 1 left for the Cubs. We'll go to the bottom of the second, tied 1 apiece. Stepping up is Michael Conforto, and he enters play today, currently 5th in the National League batting race.
There's a lot of ways to get on base. Base hit, a walk, hit by pitch. This guy's in the top 5 on base percentage. He does a little bit of all of those things.
Laid off, but a cold strike as that caught the outside. And he falls behind 0-2. Now the pitch. And a good sinker there gets him swinging for the first out.
Well, I'm glad we get another look at that beauty of a pitch right there. You can't spot a sinker in a better location because even if you do get the bat on the ball, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. Textbook sinker.
So here's Francisco Lindor now, as he'll take one up in the zone, but indeed in the strike zone for the first strike. He comes in with that average down in the 240s, 13 home runs and an even 40 RBIs. The windup and the 0-1, and a sinker dips too low there, into the dirt in fact. 1 out, nobody on. Outside, 2-1. Mills, a 6'4" right-hander. He was taken in the 22nd round during the first-year player draft of 2012.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Francisco Lindor. That pitch was so slow it barely registered on the radar gun.
Yeah, Matt, we don't see too many pitches crawling to the plate like that, especially these days. That can be a really tough pitch for a hitter to wait back on.
So it was a swinging strike 3. Francisco Lindor becomes out number 2 this inning. J.D. Davis the next to bat, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. First chance for him here after appearing as a pinch hitter in the game last night. The 1-0. Looked at for ball number 2.
That's where he wants that sinker to end up, but that was a nice job of laying off.
And 0 now. Austin Nola would be next. Here it comes, the 3-0. And the sinker runs too low here as he loses him. It's ball 4.
Well, they were obviously pitching around him there, and I don't blame them. With the bases empty and 2 outs and a hitter of this caliber at the plate, make somebody else beat you.
That'll bring up Austin Nola. In 13 at-bats so far in the series, he's collected 3 base hits. First pitch of the AB now. He swings and grounds it to short. Baez has it, and as it turns out, the 2-out walk doesn't come around to haunt him as that ends the inning. The love of the game runs deep with these folks. Back with more on a Thursday night following this. Welcome back to Flushing, Queens. Before we get back to baseball, let's check in with Heidi.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cubs to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. Yes, they've only scored 1 run, but he said they've done a great job of forcing the pitch count up, and he thinks that's going to lead to more offense for them as this game goes on.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Top of the third set to get underway, and that'll bring forth the slugging shortstop, Javier Baez. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
You know, a lot of guys don't like to swing at the first pitch. That might be the case with this one right here. Took a wheelhouse fastball, 0-0 center cut. Didn't even give the impression he was swinging.
The 0-1 pitch. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
Two mid-90s fastballs, and you're down 0-2. This is where you got to take a deep breath and pot commit. You're either all in on another fastball, or you're finding a way to stay back to attack something off speed.
Swing and a miss as he starts the third, the same way he ended the second, with a punch-out, one away. Didn't mess around much in that at-bat, Dan.
No, that was pretty impressive, Matt. I really like a pitcher that trusts and works off his fastball. Right there, he decided he didn't need to use anything else. 3 straight heaters and go grab some bench.
Here's Jason Hayward now, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike one. A base hit in his first trip. Carrasco pauses. 0-1 on its way.
After 2 great pitches, he has a lot of options right now. He can bounce something or go elevated fastball.
Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss, and another punch out here. 6 already, and that's out number 2.
Wow, talk about being efficient. How about 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts? Doesn't get much better than that.
Digging in next will be Chris Bryant. He'll swing and lift a ball fouled off to the left and out of play. He'll attempt to put the ball in play for a change here with the first 2 guys going down on strikes to start the inning. Tries to shave the corner with that pitch, but it's 1-1. 2 out, nobody on. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. Line drive to center field. Nimmo able to track it down for the third out. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. Home half of the third coming up, tied at 1. So here now's the pitcher, Carlos Carrasco, as we move on to the bottom of inning number 3. First pitch on its way. As he tries to go out and get the slider, but it's not there. It's strike 1. 1-1.
There's the heavy sinker right there. What makes that pitch so difficult to hit is not only does it change eye levels, it actually changes plane. You go to hit it at one position, and it's 6 to 8 inches dropping off the table and chasing your hands.
Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. Jeff McNeil waits on deck. Fouled off. Now the 3-2 pitch. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. So 4 of the first 7 outs thus far tonight have come via the punch-out. And as we take a look there at the team leaderboard, you can see he ranks 3rd best on this Chicago ball club. So it's back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring in Jeff McNeil. Here's the first pitch. And he'll hold off on the slider here to start the at-bat. It's ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Perhaps a little low there. It's 2-0. Two balls and a strike now. Hitters count now. Here's the 2-1. Ball 3, not close with the sinker that time.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Into the corner and slicing foul. Good battle here. This will be the 7th pitch coming up. Fouled away. Once again, a 3-2. Turned on, but it's wide at first and foul. This one's down to third. Bryant is up with it. And the throw forces him to lay out for that one, but he keeps a foot on the bag to record the out.
The center fielder, number 9, Brandon Nimmo.
At the plate now is Brandon Nimmo. Hit it hard, but lined out in his first at-bat.
Yeah, he hit it hard. That's all you can ask. You can't control the result sometimes, Matty. Just unlucky with the placement.
1-0.
This one's outside. Quite a bit off the plate that time. 2 balls and no strikes to the Mets center fielder. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Fooled him with that one as he's way out in front.
In my opinion, one of the toughest pitches in the game to square up. Just a heavy sinker with good downward action.
There's a swing and a drive hit well out to right field. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. 12 home runs for him now thus far, and the Mets move out to a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised that he swung for the fences. With the bases empty and 2 out, that's the time to take your shot and go for the long ball. He waited on a pitch he liked and absolutely exploded on it for a solo shot. That's what he does.
At the plate, Dominic Smith. As he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. He launched one over the wall back in the opening frame. And this winds up inside for a ball. 2-0 now.
I wonder if that homer rattled him a little bit. He's certainly a little bit more cautious against him this time around.
Hit softly down the line at first. But a foul ball, and it's 2-1 now. And now a pitch on the way. Changeup called a strike, and he comes back even at 2-2. And it's fouled away. A swing and a miss at a sinker. The strikeout retires the side. Inning is over. Mets do pick up a run on this solo shot. We played 3 full. It's now 2-1 New York. All set for the start of the 4th. And digging in is the outfielder, Ian Happ.
Number 8, Ian Happ.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch as he'll pop this one foul off to the left and out of play. Fastball called for strike 2.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and 6 right here.
Trying to send him packing for the second time. And here's a fastball on 0-2, but it misses. 1-2 now.
If I'm in the box, you take a step out right here. Take a deep breath after that high fastball. You got to be leery of him burying something in the dirt.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. The 2-2 is looked at, and the count moves full.
From 0-2 to 3-2, what a great at-bat to start this inning off. Hey, this could be a productive inning.
Early swing there as he pulls it foul to the right side. The next 3-2. Scorched to third. Davis grabs it cleanly. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the 4th. And definitely worth another look with our show track data. Great reaction from the hot corner to make the backhand stop, and then he unleashes that very strong throw while in the air all the way across the diamond. He's going to be smiling about that one. Anthony Rizzo stands in now. And he lays off there 1-0. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. The 1-0.
Oh, that's out.
Down the first baseline, but this will get fouled. 2-1.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
Hard on the ground towards short. Reined in. And there's out number 2.
The left fielder, number 24, John Peterson.
Next to hit, Jock Peterson. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
Ball 1 to start the at-bat. Both teams with just 2 hits apiece thus far. Count is even at 1-1 to Peterson. Well outside with the curveball for a ball.
I don't blame him for not coming over the heart of the plate. He circled this guy on the lineup card when he got to the yard today. He's been swinging one of the hotter bats in the game. Now the 2-1.
Three balls.
Coming down in buckets. cats and dogs. Insert metaphor here, and the forecast is not showing any signs of relief.
You know, one of the big issues is player safety, and right now this field is getting sloppy wet, man, and I don't know how much more rain this field can take.
Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fourth inning of a 2-1 ball game. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. Throw in the dirt, but a good scoop at first saves an error as the side is retired. Cubs are down in order. They still trail it here 2-1. Just about set to go for the last of the fourth. But before we do that, here's Heidi Watney.
Matt, during the break, I caught up with the Mets manager to discuss his thoughts on his club's offense so far. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. It's still pretty early in the game, but they've seen a lot of pitches already. And he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed across so far is just the beginning, given the quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
All right, Heidi, thank you. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And next to bat will be the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
The first baseman, Pete Alonso.
The pitch. Well out in front of the breaking ball there for a strike.
Hey, this isn't exactly the way you'd like to draw it up. Not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but the bottom line is he's getting outs.
Behind 0-2 now. 0-2 count, and the pitch. Hit hard to short. And this will get through into left for a leadoff hit.
Boy, not the way you'd like to draw up an 0-2 pitch, D-roll, but from a hitter's perspective, a pretty good job of staying alive, 0-2.
Yeah, and he did an excellent job on the offensive side. Not to let the AB get away from him. I know he was down 0-2, but he bowled his neck and he stayed in there.
Into the box now, Michael Conforto. As he'll come up empty that time on a sinker, it's strike 1. He's set. Here's the 0-1. Alonso aboard here at first with nobody out. Tries to change up on him there, but it's a ball, 2-1. From the stretch. That's lifted the other way out to left. Peterson has a read on it. 1 down.
Now batting, the shortstop, Francisco Lindor.
And that'll bring in the switch hitting Francisco Lindor. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch on its way. As he'll watch a sinker here that misses. It's ball 1.
1-0.
That last pitch was number 60 already. With 1 out in the 4th, that's way too many.
That evens it up 1-1. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, what I'm seeing here is a reluctance to throw the fastball. It's like he feels he can't throw the ball right by him right now.
2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors on the Mets line score so far. Hit sharply on the ground, and that'll just sneak past the glove, and it should be a base hit. He'll hold at second, and there are 2 aboard now.
You know, as a former infielder, Danny, they always say you can't be in 2 places at once, but you got to be a little frustrated right here that ball found the hole.
Now, that's a tough thing to make a quality pitch, and the guy shoots one to the right side, normally a vacated spot right there. 9 out of 10 times somebody's there to make that play. Unfortunately, not, and now we've got a couple of guys on.
J.D. Davis comes on with 1 away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. The average not quite where he wants it, down in the 220s. A dozen home runs, 26 RBIs. And he fouls this one off. So 1-1 home.
Ball that took care.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With two guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
First and second now, one man out. And it misses. 3-1 now.
There isn't a hitter alive that doesn't love hitting in fastball counts like 3-1. It's usually a pretty fruitful count in terms of getting a pitch to drive.
Now a double play ball here as this is on the ground to third. On to Rizzo, and it's a double play. Side retired. That's how you roll it. 5-4-3. A double play sends us to break. Thursday night baseball rolls on. We'll have more after this. All ready to go in the top of the fifth. And Wilson Contreras digs in at the plate.
Wilson Contreras.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
Hey, it's not always about filling up the strike zone all the time every inning. He's pitching well as we're moving into the middle innings, but interestingly, less than 50% of his first pitches have been for strikes.
Now a curveball, but he might have flown open a bit. It's 1-1.
Hey, a curveball that kind of backed up on him right there. Might have popped out of his hand just a little bit earlier than he intended.
A strike to Contreras, and it's 1-1. Pitch taken several inches below the zone, in fact. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first down.
That's his second strikeout of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if a coach finds him in the dugout and gives him a little talk about shortening up and putting the ball in play. Good things tend to happen when you do that in these kinds of conditions.
So now to the plate, David Bodie. And he'll watch one miss up and away for a ball, 1-0. He'll enter play here with an average just over 250. 3 homers, 26 RBIs. Who pulled the string and had him way out in front, a ball and a strike. And now a curveball that's low and in the dirt for a ball. It's 2-1. One run, 2 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. Hit down the line at first. Fielded cleanly, and he'll step on first himself for the out.
Now batting, the pitcher, Alex Mills.
Next up is Alec Mills. He went down looking in his last trip to the plate.
Yeah, Matty, and hopefully he got it out of his system. Especially now, he's got to bear down. He gets the 2 strikes in this spot, has to put the ball in play.
As he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1. One and 1 to count. 5th inning, 2-1 our score. And he gets him to pop it up on the right side of the infield. Alonso is there to make the catch, and his side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. Our score remains 2-1. Bottom of the inning now, and that brings up Austin Nola.
The catcher, Austin Nola.
Here's the first pitch.
Ball, that's too high.
Couple of righties starting to loosen now in the bullpen. Here it comes, 1-0.
Ball, that's out.
Swing, and he takes this the other way to right, but he will come on strong out there in right and pull this one down for the first out.
Well, we've mentioned the conditions aren't ideal with the rain coming down, and that can make every play a little bit of an adventure. You really have to concentrate, and he did there to haul it down.
And now in the box, Carlos Carrasco. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. One out, nobody on. Way inside with that one, a pretty easy take there. Swing and a liner. And the pitcher's got himself a base hit.
He came to play today. Not just only on the bump right there. He's throwing the ball well, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's able to contribute, help this offense put itself in position to score some more runs.
So here's Jeff McNeil. And he'll take a called strike here on a borderline pitch at strike one. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Set to deliver the 0-1.
Nope, that's a ball.
In today's game, everybody's trying to work off the mound north-south, trying to elevate that heater. He wanted that pitch right there, but I can tell you as an offensive player, I'd rather give you 6 inches off east-west than to have you call that high fastball.
And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. This one's down to third. Bryant's got it. One there. Relay to first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. Both teams battling the elements thus far, but we've got a tight game through 5. Back with more on a Thursday night following this. Taijuan Walker takes over to start the 6th inning on the mound.
Number 99, Taijuan Walker.
New inning set to get underway, and into bat next, the versatile weapon Javier Baez. And now the first pitch. And he'll take a look at ball 1. Some action out in the bullpen. Couple of right-handers starting to loosen up. Now a ball slapped hard the opposite way, and that finds the outfield grass for a base hit. And he will coast into second with a leadoff double. Finally, a little something for them to get excited about.
Yeah, a rally can begin with a single swing of the bat, and this might be their chance right here. They've struggled to produce a lot of runs, but there he is at second base. A shot to the outfield scores him. Then who knows what kind of roll they can get on. Got to take it one good at-bat at a time.
Into the box, Jason Hayward. As he'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike 1. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a blooper to the right side. Alonso backs up a bit, and he takes charge for the first out.
Up next to the call, the third baseman, Chris Bryant.
And stepping in, Chris Bryant. A base knock to the outfield could score the tying run from second. Now the first pitch. Timing just a tick off there as this one's fouled off to the right.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
Cut fastball above the letters, a ball and a strike. The 1-1. Swing and a liner. That's in there. Base hit. Baez rounds third and is digging for the plate. And he's safe at the plate. It's a 2-2 game.
You love the aggressive base running right there. It's not easy to make that throw and give that catcher time to adjust his feet and get that tag down.
No, very aggressive send right there. You take a chance, you hope the throw is a little bit offline, and that paid off right there.
And that'll bring in the Pittsburgh area native Ian Happ as he'll look at a breaking ball that misses for ball one. The 1-0. And he lays off for a ball. 2-1. Runner at first here with one away in a 2-2 ball game. Fouled off. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Lays off the splitter that time, and it's full 3-2.
Not a bad time right here to put that runner in motion. 3-2 count. You send the runner, and if it's a bad pitch, it's ball four.
Walker comes set. Full count pitch on its way. Bryant, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. And he lays off here. A nice job. It's ball four. First and second now with one away.
That was a great battle right there. He tried to get him to chase, but he laid off some really tough pitches and got a walk. Got to tip the cap to the batter that time.
Next to hit is Anthony Rizzo. 0 for 2 for him to this point. First offering. Looking at his lifetime numbers, Rizzo is a .270 hitter. A respectable number he'll look to improve upon in this at-bat. On its way, the 0-1 pitch.
Whoa, that pitch is out. Count is 2-1.
Hey, lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job of gaining some count leverage. Look for him to put the ball in play hard.
And that'll yank just foul. And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
I don't think he can afford another base runner here, so whatever pitch he feels best about, whichever one he feels most comfortable with, that's the one I expect him to turn to.
Runners are at first and second with one away. And that's a fair ball, line to the right side. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance, and he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
And it looks as though the decision makers in the dugout will give him a free pass to first, so the bases are loaded here on the intentional walk, and the force play is now in order. So bases are loaded, nowhere to put him with one away. And stepping up to hit next, the catcher Wilson Contreras. Ready with the first pitch, here it comes. There's a cold strike as he nips the corner.
So important getting ahead with the bases loaded. Already a difficult situation, so you don't want to make it any harder by falling behind in the count.
Hard hit at third. Oh, and it eats him up a bit. And the run will score from third to make this a 4-2 game.
The batter, number 13, second baseman,
Dylan Betances is called upon to pitch, really needing that double play ball. Bases are loaded here with only one man out.
Dylan.
Stepping in now, David Bodie. Popped him up. And he'll stay with it to put it away as they get their man here for the second out.
Now batting, the pitcher, Alex Mills.
And now the Cubs pitcher, Alec Mills. And a chance now to increase his lead if he can deliver something here with two gone. First pitch coming, here it is. As he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. Swing and a liner. And that will get down as he delivers a big one here. It's a base hit. And the second run will score here as they open things up to a 6-2 advantage.
Boy, Dero, talk about adding insult to injury right there. And the pitcher gets a 2 RBI base hit.
Yeah, and if he throws a gem, Dan, without question, he's getting his name in the box. He's all over the box score in this one. Ribbies, innings pitched, strikeouts, all of the above.
Here's Javier Baez as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. One ball and one strike to the Cubs leadoff batter. Very high, 2-1.
That's a good take on a fastball out of the zone. Hey, I get it. He's looking for a ball to drive, but that ball was a little bit too far up in the zone. That's one you normally pop right up.
Cubs shortstop with a 3-1 count. Hitters count all the way. Here it comes. Clearly off with his timing on that one. A swinging strike. And he misses with it for ball 4. So the bases will be loaded now with 2 away.
That's a big no-no. He obviously had to work carefully with 2 men on, but he did not want to walk him to load the bases. Now he's really got his work cut out for him. We'll see how he fares here.
Now to the plate, here is Jason Hayward. Flew out last time up. First pitch on the way as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
After the walk and with runners on the bags, he couldn't afford to fall behind.
Contreras on third, Mills on second, Baez at first, 2 out in the inning. And that misses 1-1. From the stretch. 1-2. Now a swinging bunt. Two out, bases loaded. Tough curveball that time, but he's able to make contact to keep this at-bat going. And two. There is Delgado. The end side is retired. So a very good outburst here as 5 runs come across and allow them to take the lead. 2, 3, and 4 due up in the home half of the 6th. It's the Cubs 6 and the Mets 2. Brandon Nimmo will stride in again, and before he takes his cuts here, let's flash you back to the 3rd inning. This was just a solo shot, but it definitely helped get this offense going. First offering. Cubs have someone working in their bullpen now as a right-hander's begun to get loose. The 1-0 is laid off for ball 2. Ground ball sent back up the middle. Dive by Baez. It's there. He got him. And what a vital play there, preventing the leadoff man from getting aboard. Well, let's get another look at that diving play on show track. Obviously a great job just to get the glove on it, and perhaps just as impressive was the throw to first. Got a lot behind that ball to nab the runner up the line. Standing in now, Dominic Smith. As the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Nearly got the inside, but ruled the ball.
Hey, this is a real pesky hitter right here. As a pitcher, you really like to keep this guy off the bases. This is a guy that kind of sets the tables for big innings.
And this one's over at the knees, 2-1. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. And that's the 2nd out.
The first baseman, Alonso.
And now here is Pete Alonso. A fly out and a single for him so far. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch, as he'll look at a fastball too high for ball 1. 2 out, nobody on. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Peterson has a read on it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Mets go down 1-2-3. They still trail here at 6-2. Joey Lucchesi is on to pitch from the bullpen now to start inning number 7.
Number 47, Joey Lucchesi.
All set for the start of the inning, and into bat next, former National League MVP Chris Bryant. Now the first pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. And this one's downstairs. It's a ball and a strike. The 1-1 home. Hit hard towards center. That gets down. He's got himself a base hit. Running hard. He's digging for second. Around second. He's on his way to third. And he is into third with a leadoff triple. So that's his third triple of the year.
Yeah, that's not a ton, Matt, but he looked very capable there of picking up some more as the season goes on.
At the plate, Ian Happ standing in from the right side as he takes strike one. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. Nothing in one count. Here it comes. Outside part of the plate, the changeup is in there.
This is where, as a batter, you got to find a way to put something in the outfield. Get something elevated. I know you got to battle with 2 strikes and protect, but if anything is belt or above, you got to swing.
And he gets under this one a bit as this is lifted into center field. Catch made in center. Here comes the runner from third. And he will score on the sacrifice fly.
Great job of offensive execution there. Leadoff triple and then the sac fly to bring home a run.
So now into the box is Anthony Rizzo. Bases empty and 1 away following the sac fly. First pitch of the AB now.
Time to be aggressive with these hitters now. After that sac fly, now it's time to try to get out of this inning with only 1 run scored.
Now the 1-0.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
Goes after the sinker there as this is fouled away. 1 out, nobody on. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
2-2.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. The 2-2. Doesn't get the zone. Count full now.
Wow, talk about a waste pitch on 2-2. That one wasn't even close. I don't know anyone that would have swung at that pitch.
Hit to first. And he'll take it to the bag himself for the out.
The left fielder, number 24, Joc Pederson.
So next to bat will be the left-handed hitting Joc Pederson. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Here's the pitch.
Well, if you could throw it for a strike consistently, a first pitch changeup is effective. Hitters are almost never looking for it.
A 1 pitch on its way. Now a swing and a fly ball. On its way, the 0-2 pitch. A swing and a miss on a ball way outside the strike zone, and the inning is over. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We'll move on now to the bottom half of the 7th. Get up and stretch. It's the Cubs 7 and the Mets 2. Jonathan Holder will come on now to make his 30th appearance of the year so far.
Number 52, Jonathan Holder.
Now into the box, Michael Conforto. He'll match up with a new pitcher to begin their half of the 7th.
Offense just needs to find a way to get that pass the baton mentality. Starts 1 at-bat at a time. I know they need base runners clearly. Maybe if they could get a few guys on the pillow, someone can bop one and get them back in this.
They set the target in, and this finds the inside corner for strike 1.
Probably a design take right there. They need base runners, so they're going to make them try to bring the ball in the strike zone.
Now the 0-1. Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1. The 1-1.
That's Bolton.
Wow, that was a close pitch on 1 and 2. The count's now at 2 and 2, but boy, that one very easily could have been called strike 3. Really close pitch.
Pitch on the way. And he wasn't going to hit that one with an or. The strikeout, and there's 1 gone.
Well, I have to give credit to him on the mound for not letting that previous pitch get to him. He wanted it, but he didn't get the call. But I love how he didn't let it affect him, and he comes right back with another good pitch and gets the punch out.
And that'll bring in the switch-hitting Francisco Lindor. As the first pitch to him's a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. He's 1 for 2 in this one. The 1-0.
He may be down 2-0 after those first 2 pitches in this AB, but those are pitches he can feel pretty good about. They didn't miss by a whole lot, so it's not like he's all over the place.
Outside 3-0 now. Bases are empty, 1 man out. A 3-ball, 1-strike count to the Mets shortstop.
Hey, pretty aggressive pitch right there up in the zone. Surprised he didn't offer at it.
The 3-1 is in there for a full count now, 3-2. Now the 3-2 pitch. Weakly hit towards first. He's right there, and he'll step on first himself for the out.
Now batting, third baseman, J.D. Davis.
Next, it'll be J.D. Davis. He was a double play victim last time around.
He doesn't have to worry about that in this situation, Matty. No one on base right now. Try and get something up so you can drive the baseball.
And now the first pitch, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. So 2 pitches in a row on the outside corner for strikes. You think he stays out there?
I think he does. One thing you don't want to do, though, Matt, it's not a good idea to throw the same hitter, the same pitch 3 times in a row, back to back to back, but I think he might throw it here.
A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2. Now the pitch. got him swinging, and that's the third out. Down in order go the Mets. They're down 5. It's 7-2. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Edwin Diaz will come on now, and he'll slide into the 7 spot in the lineup following the double switch. Jose Peraza is into the ball game as well, as he'll slide into the pitcher's spot, hitting 9th now on the double switch. Ready to begin the 8th, and Wilson Contreras digs in at the plate. He's set, and the pitch. First pitch hacking here, and that's the first strike. Takes a pitch high and away for ball 1.
But down 1-1.
And here's a slider for a called strike, and he's behind 1-2 now. Now the pitch. Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His third punch out of the game.
That's the third time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
At the plate now, David Bodie. As he'll take a look at the pitch too low, it's ball 1. One out, nobody on. That one's going to find the seats. Strike 1. Too much bite on the breaking ball that time, as it's well off the outside.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch, but if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Fouled away. Here it comes. And he strikes him out as well. So 2 punch-outs to begin the outing out of the pen.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
As the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. And Maben comes up empty on that one, and it's 0-2 now.
I'll tell you, if I'm pitching right now, I'm not throwing anything near the strike zone until these guys prove they can lay off it. They're just being way too aggressive.
On, he pops it up. And this is going to wind up a foul ball. He'll try again, 1-2. And it's fouled away. Trying to strike out the side. Here it is. And a great inning here as he gets another punch out and strikes out the side in order. Cubs are down in order. They're on top 7-2. Ryan Tepera is on to pitch out of the bullpen in the bottom half of the 8th.
Number 53, Ryan Tepera.
Into the box, Austin Nova. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far.
The catcher, Austin Nova.
Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider, 0-1.
Hey, that was a nasty pitch right there. Ton of rotation on that ball. You could almost see the red dot from up here. Nasty depth.
Barely able to make contact. Down 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes, he's down.
He wasn't even close to swinging right there. That was a stone cold take.
The 1-2. Line to the right side, and that's going to get down in front of Hayward for a base hit.
That's the only way to combat a nasty cutter. You have to find a way to fight and stay inside that baseball and drive it the other way.
And here's Jose Peraza.
At the ball.
Righty against righty as this is taken for a ball. It's 1-0. And he's getting his first plate appearance here in the 8th after entering off the bench just a little bit ago. The 1-0 pitch.
Ball. Down.
Got to believe the pitcher's going to trust his defense right here. Look for something down in his zone to induce a ground ball double play.
Nola on at first, nobody out. In there, 2-1.
2 balls.
Action in the
1
bullpen now as a right-hander begins to throw out there. Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit back toward, and this is off the second base bag. And they won't get an out from this as he's able to reach on a play that you just don't see very often. Cutting it close here, but he comes through in the 8th to extend his hitting streak.
Yeah, and he was staring at his last at-bat right there, or probably his last at-bat. Would have been tough to get him another AB in this one, but he's able to get it done.
Hey, better late than never, and I'm sure when he walked into that batter's box right there, he's thinking, this very well could be my last AB of this game, so if I'm going to keep this streak alive, I'm going to have to do it right now.
First pitch of the AB on its way.
1-0.
Hey, this pitcher's going to have to step off the mound right here and refocus. Take a deep breath, something. Can't keep falling behind and creating traffic. It puts everybody on edge, not only himself, his defense, and especially his manager.
The 1-0 home is swung on and missed, and that's strike 1. First and second here with nobody out. And he comes back with a fastball. 1-2 now.
Man, you don't see this in today's game that much. The guy who's willing to work east-west consistently with a great cutter two-seamer combo.
Now this pitch sails up and in, and that leaves him muttering to himself. It's ball 2. The 2-2.
Count is full.
That's a good job right there. very rarely see pitchers double up where they go a pitch inside. Normally, they'll go back outside, but he followed that up with another pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Got him. So he's down on strikes for the second time here tonight.
It's been a really rough day for this lineup. There's really no other way to say it. Not a lot of good scoring opportunities, and when they've had them, like right now, it's just been an uphill battle for them to make anything positive happen.
So here's Brandon Nimmo, as he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball one. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. The 1-0 home.
Ball inside.
What a great opportunity to come through right here. 2-0 count, runners on base. Find something middle of the plate and let it rip.
As a look, now the pitch.
That's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes.
This is hit the other way out toward left field. Peterson has a read on it. And that's the second out of the inning.
The left fielder, number 2, Dominic.
Stepping in next, Dominic Smith. And Dan, this could be a real make-or-break situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, Matt, at least scoring 1 run in this inning is so important to them to possibly get back into this thing. Baseball doesn't have a clock, but you only have 27 outs to work with. They're running out of those pretty quick.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. And he fouls this one off. 2 men are on with 2 men out. Oh, can't spot the cutter any better than that. 0-2 now.
Hey, it's looking like he might be able to get out of this one after giving up 2 singles early.
Here it comes, 0-2. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. 2 left for the Mets. They're down 5. It's 7-2. Trevor May enters from the pen to start the 9th inning, as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. So the batting order turns over now and set to go Javier Baez. It was a walk in his last trip. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. May rarely finds himself in much trouble out of the bullpen, at least in terms of giving up base hits. He's proven to be a tough guy to barrel up. Now here it comes. Boy, that fastball is just sizzling up there. 1-1.
Hey, that's a heck of a pitch right there. If he's able to execute with that type of velocity, fastballs up and in, I can't imagine. Not only is he going to break a ton of bats today, but he's going to open up that down and away with the soft stuff later in the game.
Fastball called, strike 3, and there's the first out of the inning.
Some guys with big arms like this, they're just chuckers. They just throw the ball as hard as they can, and where it ends up isn't that big of a concern, but that wasn't the case there. That was a very well-pitched fastball right on the corner at the knees. Good luck hitting that one.
So now to the plate, Jason Hayward, as he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1.
Count is 1 and 2.
Now he turns on a fastball and sends it deep down the right field line. But that'll stay in the park as it's off the wall. And he's able to hustle his way up to second as he'll reach here with a two-base hit.
Well, he was definitely not looking off speed on that pitch. I'll tell you, he had to be sitting on a fastball on that one because it's coming in hot, and he still manages to get out front of that and yank it for 2 bases.
In now, Chris Bryant, as he'll look at a fastball in there on the outer half. It's 0-1. Lifetime against this particular arm, he's 1 for 4. And this catches the zone as well. It's 0-2 now.
Hey, back-to-back, same pitch, same spot. Don't be shocked if he goes right back out there. If I'm a hitter, that's where I'm sitting. Everyone would think he wants to go somewhere else. He might go right exactly to the same spot.
Ready on 0-2. Fouled off. Hayward leads off second with 1 gone in the inning. Tried to get him to go after the slider, but it's 1-2. Off the plate that time and a little high. It's even at 2-2.
Hey, doubled up on breaking balls there outside. Now might be the time to bust that fastball in.
The 2-2. Fouled away. Now another 2-2. Skied down the left field line. Full count now, 3-2.
He's definitely going to want to get greedy in his own, and he's obviously seeing the ball well, or he would have swung at that pitch. Sometimes in these long, epic at-bats, you start to get into swing mode.
And that misses, ball 4. So it's first and second now with only 1 away.
And with first base open, the last thing he wanted to do was give him something to hit in the heart of the zone. So no harm done. Force out anywhere now.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Ian Happ. 0 for 2 with a run batted in for him thus far. Here's the first pitch to him. Batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike 1.
That was a pretty good fastball after he walked the hitter previous. There was a little angry on that heater.
First and second now, 1 man out. High and deep down the left field line. Again, another foul ball. The next 0-2. And he looks at a ball, 1-2.
Tough to lay off a breaking ball that good, but he saw it all the way.
Runners are at first and second with 1 away. Just hung in there on that one. Again, a 1-2. In the dirt here, and a nice job to keep the runners at bay as the count moves to 2-2. And that one never threatened the zone. It's gone full now to 3-2.
For the guy on the mound, this is one of those innings where nothing comes easy. He's thrown a bunch of pitches, and this AB hasn't been any different. Definitely laboring at the moment.
Now the payoff pitch home. To short, hit hard. And that's through into left, a base hit. Now a long throw to third. And this will get in there too late. He's in there at third. When we looked at this game on paper before it started, I don't think any of us thought it would go down like this.
Sometimes it's hard to explain when a game is this lopsided. A lot of things just kind of snowball on you. One thing leads to another, a big hit, which leads to another, some bad defense, some shoddy pitching. Next thing you know, you look up and you're on the wrong side of a whole lot of badness.
Into the box now, Anthony Rizzo. A ball and no strikes. Runners are at the corners with one man out. And he falls behind now, 2-0.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
And a good eye that time to lay off the fastball. It's 3-0.
His pitch count is getting up there in the inning now. He needs to get this frame over with sooner than later, so forcing contact and getting the defense involved is probably the best thing he can do.
Here's the 3-0. That one's in there. 3-1.
3-1 with 2 on, and this is where you got to be geared up for something to drive. I don't think you can just groove him one right here. You still have to try to make a competitive pitch.
And he misses with it, ball 4, so that'll load the bases, and now he's really going to need to get a ground ball.
Right about now, the manager's questioning his decision to bring this guy in. If you can't trust a reliever to throw strikes, you can't trust him at all. We'll see if he comes to get him sooner than later.
Jerry's Familia comes on to pitch now, hoping for better results than the other arms that they've run out there in this one. Here's Jock Peterson now. Lifetime against Familia. He's a .333 hitter. Here's the first pitch. As he'll send a ground ball down to third. To second for 1. On to first. And how about that for an entrance? 1 pitch, 2 outs, and the inning is over. 2 hits in the inning lead to a run for Chicago. 1 more shot coming up. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. It's the Cubs 8 and the Mets 2. Robert Stock, the 6'1" right-hander, will be the one to get the call from the bullpen here. All set for the bottom of the 9th. Here comes the first baseman, Pete Alonso. And now pitch on the way. And he gets ahead 0-1. Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2.
I know that feeling. Played 14 years in the big leagues and still can't hit a slider.
And there's a fastball well off the plate inside.
Boy, he sped him up in this at-bat. Now it's time for the changeup. This guy's got a good one, and he hasn't thrown it yet in this at-bat.
The 1-2 pitch. A swing and a miss on a ball way out of the zone, and there's 1 away.
Wow, that's the case right there where a pitcher knows this guy's up there and he's in swing mode. That pitch wasn't even close to the strike zone, and he still swung at it.
To the plate now, Michael Conforto, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. 0-1 count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. That one tied him up.
I love the fact that this batter continues to be aggressive, but after striking out twice already, maybe he's got to take a step back, see the ball a little bit deeper, and be willing to work deep into the count.
Conforto behind, a ball and 2 strikes.
That's a great take right there. Great pitch recognition to let that one go. Opposite-handed, that's coming across the plate. You might think you got a shot to stay inside that one.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here now the 2-2. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
I really liked it. He gave up nibbling out of the zone trying to get him to chase. That wasn't working, so he just reached back and fired a good old country hardball fastball right by him. No better feeling in the world when you're a pitcher than throwing a fastball right by a guy.
At the plate, Francisco Lindor, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. That's 2 balls and no strikes. Now a swing and a fly ball, and this should do it. The catch is made, and the Cubs have taken the finale here. They win the series 3-1 as the ball game is over. 8-2 tonight's final. The Chicago Cubs rack up a division-leading 40th victory of the season. Alec Mills earns his 8th victory of the season, so that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.
Here now is the final line score tonight. First for the victorious Chicago Cubs, 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left 8 men on base. For the Mets, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 11 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.